What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 10 of the Charge to the Top, here with Hereford FC, and well, to mark the occasion that is episode 10, the first of, I guess, hopefully many landmarks with this series, we've got a live-com double-header special. So yes, 2 games, one in the league, one in the FA Cup, and yeah, hopefully you guys stick around for the entirety of today's episode. Hopefully, it's going to be a good one. Since the last episode, we've played 5 games, and we have been playing very, very well. I want to blitz through these fairly quickly, because as I said, 2 games coming up today, but the first game, following on from the defeat last episode, was against Farnborough, and as you can see, we won 2-0. Hanbury and Anthony Wright with the goals. Anthony Wright as well getting man of the match. Really good achievement for the young American, obviously, our kind of new starting left midfielder. Only got 1 goal and 2 assists in his 8 games so far for the club, but an average rating of 7.14 in the league, definitely nothing to be scoffed at, and of course great to bounce back with a win immediately following on from the defeat against Cinderford. Anyway, the next game we had was against Barton Rovers, and we won this one 1-0. In truth, would have been a little bit better to get a slightly more convincing result in the end, the winning goal scored by our right back, Kane Smith, so that was nice. And well, with this run of results, it was a good run of results, of course, but we did have some easier games, but at the same time, I guess you've got to win them, and that's what we have done in this kind of little run here. Anyway, the next game we had was against Gloucester, and if we just look at Gloucester, you can see they're 5th in the league at the moment, and well, we beat them 5-0 in the FA Cup second round. Fantastic performance this one. Matty Hamilton getting a brace, a good little achievement for him. The Irish kind of youngster, player who we brought in with a lot of expectations. In truth, he's not really hit the ground running this year, but he got 2 goals in this game, as we did run out very convincing victors against, of course, our divisional rivals. And yeah, you can notice here the attendance, 3,767 fans. And well, it says Mark Clattenburg ref the game. There seems to be a weird issue when you have lower league databases where Premier League managers love to come and manage the, lower league referees love to come and referee the games. There's a few examples of this here, including Kevin Friend, who turned up to see us come out 2-0 winners against Hampton and Richmond. And well, a new player getting 2 goals and 2 winning goals. This guy, Aramide Ote. I'm going to call him Ote. If it's Aramide, I'm sorry, Aramide. It probably is Aramide, but Ote, that's what we're going to call him. And he's a very good player, a youngster, 19 years old. A player joined us on trial, having been released from Tottenham. And as you can see here, yeah, he got 2 goals in this game. He did one better in the next game as we beat Oxford City 4-1. He got a hat-trick. Fantastic achievement by him. Hopefully he can score some goals in our live comms today. But a fantastic forward, a good young player. 5 goals in 2 games. Not quite fit enough, unfortunately, to start today's game. And, well, Darren Stevenson was the other goal scorer in this game. And himself, you know, 3 goals, 2 assists. Not a crazy amount for Stevenson. But he's been a very good assister and very good kind of target man, I guess, for us in terms of just kind of being a handful for the opposition. So anyway, those are the games. 5 wins, 4 in the league. Where we now sit in the league is we've actually gone top. That said, Basingstoke played one less game, as of Chesham, and both teams, you know, within kind of closing distance of us. And in fact, Basingstoke could leapfrog us with a win in their game in hand. So very much all up in the air, but we've bounced back well. But in reality, when you see the teams we've played, you kind of realise that actually we should have been beating them. You know, we played Barton, we played Hampton and Richmond, Oxford City. These are teams in the lower half of the table that we absolutely have to be beating. And well, yes, we've done well to beat them, but it's games like this one against Chippenham, who have actually themselves dropped down to 7th, which are going to prove crucial. So anyway, today, as I said, we're going to take on Chippenham. We're then going to have Maidenhead in the FA Cup 3rd qualifying round. Should be a good little tie, that one. And next episode, just so you guys know what's going to be coming up, we're going to do another live com double header, and that one's going to be Chesham and Dunstable. 2 teams who are in 4th and 5th at the moment, or sorry, 3rd and 4th at the moment in the league. So 2 teams going pretty strong right now. So anyway, let's get into today's first game of the episode. As I mentioned, Ote has signed for us. 1 more player to add to the collection, and that was Jordan Piggott. A very exciting centre-back. Lacks some consistency, which is perhaps a little bit of a concern, but he's fairly professional. Come in on only £120 a week, as you can see, former West Brom youngster. And he is going to be on the bench for today's game, a player who I feel like we can maybe give some game time to. You kind of look at our team as a whole. He obviously comes in to be a centre-back, and he's a very good centre-back in our team. He may even force himself into the first team in the not-too-distant future. But, of course, we've been very, very good defensively. But as you look through the team here, you can see we've got some real balance about our side now in terms of players covering pretty much every position. And, well, on the bench, or not on the bench, or in the under-23s, we've got players waiting in the wings. A few more try lists. Probably not going to be signing any of these. but kind of just gives you an idea of perhaps some of the players I have been looking at. But all in all, I look across this team, I feel like we've got good coverage everywhere. I didn't mention it before, but Sean Hanbury, unfortunately out injured. 5 goals he's got, but out with a groin strain now, and well, it's a good job Ote's come up big for us, because I was a little bit worried that we might be lacking a little bit of firepower, I guess, with Hanbury's injury. So anyway, this is the team and this is the tactic. You may have noticed a minor change, that change being that we have switched our wide midfielders to wingers. It was a bit of a conscious decision. I feel like it probably suits our players a little bit better. My big gripe with wingers is they can be a little bit too wide at times, not particularly compact or great defensively. But I feel like in Wright and Bennett, it's got to be worth giving them a punt and trying to play them as these wider kind of wingers. Yes, they're not going to do perhaps quite so much defensively, but it really is going to allow us to use and abuse their pace. And of course other players who we have in the side as well, because these two guys, very, very pacey players for at this level, and I think they can be real handfuls out wide, and well, it's something that I want to try, and well, so far, so good really when it's come to using them as wingers. Elsewhere, the team really hasn't changed that much. Stevenson obviously target man support, Hamilton on advance forward. As I mentioned, unfortunately Ote just not quite fit for today's game, only 87% condition. His match sharpness still not fantastic, having only played the 2 games for us, so he's going to be on the bench. Look at the rest of our team just going into this match real quick. Joel Driscoll in goal, very good goalkeeper for us. He's had his ups and downs, but with 7 clean sheets in 10 league games, you really can't fault that. He has been very good for us. I feel like he had perhaps a little bit of a blip during the last live com. At left back we go with Lewis Blackshaw. At right back we of course go with Kane Smith, a player who joined us towards the end of last season and has been very good this year. I stick with the kind of 2 centre backs who have really formed a partnership this year in George Johnson, and alongside him we of course go with Dan Preston, the former Telford man at 26 years old, one of the more experienced players in the team, a bit of a leader at the back. And well, this back four as a whole, you can see looking at the average ratings, everyone above a 7.0, even Driscoll in goal. And if you exclude him, everyone above a 7.2. We've been very, very good defensively. Anyway, Anthony Wright's out on the left, as I already talked about. Bennett's out on the right. In the centre of midfield for today's game, we go with Duffman. He's done okay, Duffman. His average rating's not been great, at 6.68 in the league. But I do feel like the centre mid on defend kind of role as a whole, it's just seemed to have been very low average ratings for the players playing in that position. I don't know if it's to do with the role itself, or maybe I've not got a good defensive midfielder so far on this save. I feel like it's probably more likely to be the former. But either way, we're going to stick with him. Alongside him, of course, Dan Townsend, a player who we signed right at the start of last season. He played 39 games last year. This year, in truth, been a little bit of a step down in terms of his performances. He could have perhaps performed a little bit better. You can see here, though, the fans like him, a leading player for the division above us. Obviously, great work rate, fantastic player creatively as well with his 13 vision and 10 passing. Can really pick out a pass for us and a vital part of our team. And as I said, up front for today's game, we're going to go with Stevenson and alongside him, Hamilton. On the bench, we've got the new addition in Piggott, the centre-back. Jay Harris, who of course joined us from Tranmere, the 30-year-old, an option if we want a little bit more experience later on into a game. We have Anthony Scully, who can play out wide on the right and the left if need be. We then have Ote, who I imagine will come on at some point in this match despite his lack of fitness. And the other player that we've been having on the bench, at least at the moment, is this guy, Mikko Vitanen. You may have forgotten we signed him. We got him, the Finnish youngster from Everton, a very exciting player, a very good player, and certainly one to keep an eye out kind of in the future. I think he might get a little bit of first team football and hopefully he can take the opportunities that come his way. So anyway, let's get into today's game. I do want to, after this match and before the next match, talk about our coaching setup because I haven't really talked about it too much this season, but it has seen an expansion to the coaching team as of late. But we have also got a new assistant manager in, and I didn't really talk about that, but I think I talked about it actually towards the end of last year, the fact that our assistant didn't really want to renew his contract, so I managed to get in a replacement, and a very good one, who I do want to show off because he's a fantastic assistant manager for this level. It's kind of funny because he has better attributes than I do as a manager. But anyway, let's see what we can do here. 5 minutes gone. We are the team with the ball. 5 wins in a row in all competitions. We want to keep that going today against a team who are currently in 7th. And well, Bennett's out wide. Lays it Smith. Crosses in. Hamilton flicks it right. Really got to do better there. Got to do better. A golden opportunity. Should have taken it, the left winger. Unfortunately, straight at the goalkeeper and a chance squandered. And well, one thing that we were perhaps experiencing earlier on in the season is that we were dominating games and having lots of shots and not making them count. In recent times with the likes of Ote just smashing in goals, it's not perhaps been quite so bad, but we do need to make sure we do take opportunities that come our way. It's been our sticking point this season. But we are on the attack again here, right, trying to play the ball in. Cleared away, but only as far as Smith. Inside now to Dan Townsend, to Stevenson, to Hamilton. Can he hit it from there? He can. Straight at Herdman. It's a second clear-cut chance in quick succession. Just 11 minutes gone here. We are really knocking on the door already. And, well, an early goal here could be great for us. The ball whipped in. They're going to deal with it again here. I assume that's going to be the end of it. Ball passed right across the goal line. Unfortunately, no one there to latch onto it. And, well, at least for now, Chippenham, they're kind of clinging on already. Is that harsh for me to say it after 15 minutes? We've got 58% of possession. We've had 2 clear-cut chances. We've not taken either of them, though. And as I said, it's been a sticking point this year. You know, the last 2 games, we've taken chances that came our way. We've looked very clinical. So far in this game, 2 really golden opportunities that we've not taken. That said, we're on the attack here. Hamilton out to Bennett, of course, the new wide men playing as wingers, and they do get into great areas, and that's a fantastic ball in. Stevenson with the finish. 6th goal of the season for him. I believe that's his 4th in the league in 11 games, which, to be honest, you wouldn't say is the best return for a striker, really. 4 goals in 11. But, well, Stevenson's contributed more than just goals. The target man has been a very, very good player for us. And actually, it was a fantastic ball into the box by Bennett, of course, as late addition this season. Signed him last episode. And, well, put on a plate for Stevenson. A delightful ball in there. And, well, the attendance, not spectacular for this game, but the fans who have turned up have seen a really nice goal there from us. And hopefully, we can build off that now. You know, we had a rocky start to the season. Defensively, we've been superb. 7 clean sheets in 10 games going into this in the league. I want to maintain that if we can. And, well, we are on the attack again. Is Stevenson with a chance to double our lead. Can he score his second of the game? He can't. But he should have done. Another great opportunity goes a-begging. And really, you look at this game after just 30 minutes, we should and potentially could be 3 or 4 goals up already. And we've squandered chances. And there's just this nagging doubt in the back of my mind that we might regret that going forward. As now they're on the attack. Wilkins hits it, smashes it over the crossbar. A great opportunity, really, for Chippenham, a clean-cut chance, or clear-cut chance of their own. But it was smashed over, and, well, 35 minutes gone. Basingstoke taking the lead in their game. That's going to be fairly big, of course. They are our big kind of promotional rivals, a team with a similar wage budget to us, and really the only team in the division with a comparable wage budget to us. And, well, they have been good this year, and we have got to play them in a few months, actually. We've got a little bit of a gap until we play them. I believe we play them towards the end of the season as well, fairly late on, so that could prove instrumental. But let's not focus on the future. We need to focus on the here and now. Townsend wins it. That's a lovely play. Men surging forward. Right, can he use his pace? Applies pressure to McCormack. We've got players waiting for a misplaced pass, but the ball does get cleared actually fairly well. And now we're the team on the back foot here. Can we put in a tackle? Wilkins. Options on ahead. Lays it out to Knott, the left back. He crosses it into Pook. And, well, it's been coming, and it's always in the script. We have chances. We have a lot of chances. We dominate a game, and we find ourselves even, Steven. And in this case, it's after just 40 minutes. And you just had that feeling that it was going to happen. The ball to the near post. It's a terrible offside trap. I don't know who's appealing for it or why. Preston loses his man. He can look complacent all he wants, Preston, but Danny Boy, you've got to do a better job of marking him there, and he hasn't. He's got the wrong side of his man. But, well, there's still time in the half, and there's still going to be another chance here. The ball being battled back well by Blackshaw there. Wins it back for a second time as well, and now up to Hamilton with pace going through. Can he finish it, the striker? Tight angle. Herdman saves it. Was another great opportunity for us. And, well, Chippenham have their goalkeeper to thank in this game. He's been absolutely superb. Our finishing, not fantastic, to be fair, but their keeper has stopped everything that we've thrown in his direction. And, well, there's been a lot flying in his direction. The kitchen sink may well have to come out in the second half, and Ote might have to come onto the pitch. Well, you have got the ball here still. I feel like this is a pointless highlight, but, well, it's going on for a while if it is pointless. And the ball actually now with Smith. Can he whip it in? He does. Stevenson's there, and Stevenson should have scored again. It's another clear-cut chance. What are we doing? 1-1, it still remains. And, well, that's going to be the half-time score, and that is blooming awful. As I said, this is a problem that we've had in live comms, actually. Look at the last live comm. It's a similar story to the last game, really. And even in the draws that we had earlier on in the season, this has been the issue, is that we dominate games like this, but we just don't find the back of the net. And we need to sort it out. We need to minimise these games. Of course, still 45 minutes left of football, and if we play as well as we did in the first half, you'd put your money on us to be the team to run out victors here. There's still plenty of time, I guess, left for us to relax into. Hamilton's not had the greatest game. I'm going to take him off and bring in Ote. His fitness isn't the best, 86% condition. Stevenson struggling a little bit too, but he did get the goal for us. And yeah, Ote, a chance to make his live-com debut, to make himself a hero. 5 goals in 2 appearances, of which one was on off the bench. Can he be the man with a plan for us today? Number 16, keep an eye on him. He's lurking. The ball forward to him. Can he score immediately? Ote, he hits the woodwork. It was in the script that he could score. Stevenson still might. But that gets cleared away too. And Odea, oh man, that was such a good chance. And he hits the woodwork immediately. Driscoll collects. I mean, it's a promising sign, I guess. It's almost as if the chance came to him too soon. He'd been on the pitch less than a few minutes. Might get another chance here though. Bennett, big ball up to Ote, uses his pace. Stevenson's in the middle. If he can find him, he does. And Stevenson doubles his goal tally for the match. A fantastic ball in, and it's the sub Ote being involved in the play. And you really can't fault him. 2-1, uses his pace, gets behind his man, and we are shooting towards our fans now, who have probably turned out in a larger amount than the amount of home fans there are for Chippenham. And they get to witness what's another nice little goal, really. Good link-up play between Ote and Stevenson. Stevenson struggling a little bit with his fitness at 72% condition, but very much capable of finding the back of the net, and he has done so there. Blackshaw on a yellow card is a little bit of a concern, but we'll stick with it. And well, we have the ball here. Stevenson, Blackshaw, the man who I said I was worried about. Bennett's is there. It's 3-1, as I said. I didn't want to overreact and panic too much at half-time about the fact it's 1-1, because I did feel like the result was kind of coming. But at the same time, when you squander as many chances as we did in the first half, you can't help but be a little bit pessimistic. The ball in, it bounces. Bennett's is there, nicely tucked away by the right-hand-sided player on his left peg. And, well, with 20 minutes left, that should be game over here. The ball forward again, now with Stevenson. Ote, he's going to be looking for a goal to add to his collection. Right with the ball, Stevenson on a hat-trick, of course. And Stevenson going to get a chance from the spot to score again. If he was to score this, it would be our 3rd goal in about the space of 11 minutes. So this game really would have turned on its head. And it is going to be a chance from the spot. Can he make it count, Stevenson? For his hat-trick, of course, the new man on the block, really, signed from Tranmere at the start of the year. Can he be the man to score his hat-trick? He squanders the chance. Can we get the rebound? We can't. Oh dear, Darren. Oh dear. Well, at least we're 2 goals up, I guess. That's kind of the silver lining. The ball in, it's cleared away. I mean, if he doesn't now get his hat-trick, it's his screw-up, isn't it? He's not going to get a better chance than that to score 3. They're on the counter, not like this. Smith, that is a fantastic tackle by the right midfielder there. Oh, sorry, right midfielder, right back there. Kane Smith just stopping the play, the captain, and did very well to get back and cover there. 14 minutes left in this game. I'm going to make a change. I'm actually going to move George Johnson to left back and bring on Pigott, the player who I mentioned that we signed very recently. A very good centre-back is Jordan Pigott, and he's going to get a chance here to show us what he's made of. The other player I think I'm going to bring on is going to be Harris. I think we'll bring him on. Yeah, we'll go with that. In terms of the team, though, I'm pretty happy with how things are going. So we'll stick with this team for now, and hopefully it can turn up good for us for the rest of this game and just see out this game now. You know, we're 3-1 up. We're going strong, and well, with time just slowly trickling away, that's probably going to be all she wrote for this game. There is going to be a chance here. If they were to score, squeaky bum time. But, well, we are the team on the attack. We are the team with the momentum. Ball given away there, though. And now Reynolds with a chance and an opportunity, perhaps. Man unmarked in the centre. And it's Rogalewski. And, well, he scores. And we now just panic. We now just panic. I mean, it's not what a manager should be saying. But it is how I'm feeling. We're going to just drop everyone back. More defensive. We don't need to... You know, we don't need to go on the offensive now. It's just waste time. There's like 5 minutes left in this match. They should not be able to get back into it. I mean, looking at the stats, they've had 5 shots on target. 2 of them have gone in. The cross here, it's terrible marking. It's actually Pigott, the new man on the block, who needs to pick up his man better. I want to put it down to a bit of perhaps complacency, perhaps. The fact he's not played first-team football in a while. But at the same time, that kind of marking is inexcusable. And, well... I don't think it's going to cost us here, but it could have done in another situation. Ote with the ball, just holding it up. There's 20 seconds left. There can't be another goal in this game, can there? There may well be. Chippenham, the team on the attack, bringing it forward. Now with Not. Terrible touch by him. Stevenson passes it to OT. Could he get a goal still? Herdman, unfortunately, beats him to the ball, but, well, that is going to be full time. It finishes here. Chippenham 2, Hereford FC 3. It's a good win for us. Keenan Bennett with the Man of the Match award. The right midfielder, of course, a new addition, a player who I wouldn't say he's set the world alight just yet, but with performances like this, he's making a name for himself and really nailing down that right-hand-sided position for us. Looking at it here, Basingstoke drew against Barton Rovers, who are 23rd, so that is a massive slip-up for them. You can see here, Gloucester, the team we beat 5-0 in the FA Cup, they beat Oxford City. Worth noting that Chesham, 2 games in hand on us, 6 points behind us, so a little bit of pressure on them. But right now, as things stand, we do sit top of the League Superior. And, well, we're going to get straight into this Maidenhead game. We're going to get through this midweek stuff. I'm going to ramble away, hopefully not too much. I do want to talk, about, of course, about the new staff members and stuff. But yeah, we've got that big game against Maidenhead now. It's a tricky tie for us against a team in the league above us. They are in the Vanarama North, if I'm not mistaken. One thing I do need to make sure I do is rest our players here because they are going to be tired. And it's going to be important that we do give them just time to collect their legs so they are ready for this upcoming game. So I did talk about the staff member changes. There's not been anything too drastic, but if we just look at our team as a whole, you can see here that we recently brought in Chris Holland as a new coach. He's actually our kind of mental and defensive coach, a very good coach, particularly at this level. You can see great, obviously, motivating level of discipline and determination, and then great defending and mental coaching. But the big kind of new addition really is our new assistant manager. It's this guy, Chris Gamel, 33 years old. You can see here 20 adaptability, great judging ability and potential for at this level, good motivating, good man manager. He's an exciting kind of coach, really. Only 33 years old. You can see here his career, not a particularly standout one by any means. Played for Russell, Worcester and Romulus. I've never heard of that team in my life, if I'm honest. But as you can see, never played in the Football League. But as a coach, he's amazing. And he's on £65 a week, which is an absolute bargain. I kind of want to renew his contract. Okay, he doesn't want to talk about it yet. But yeah, fantastic addition. And as you can see, the whole kind of team as a whole has seen some expansion. We brought in, I think Lee Phillips was the new addition in the scouting department. As you can see, 12 judging player ability and 12 judging player potential. Not incredible, but for this level, that is perfectly fine as far as scouts go. And yeah, our team has seen, some decent improvement in kind of the coaching department. You can see we're getting a little bit more specialisation in areas. Of course, our fitness and goalkeeping coaching was pretty good last year. Really, it's been about just adding in the new coach in Chris Holland, and he comes in and he offers a lot when it comes to kind of ball control and defensive coaching. So anyway, let's plough forward. We've got Maidenhead. I've not actually seen how they're going in the league as of late. I believe last time I checked, they were kind of in the playoff spots. They were a top 6 team kind of in the Vanarama North. So they are going to be a tricky team for us. We are going to have to see how we get on against them. In fact, they're in the Vanarama South. Why did I keep saying North? They're in the South. You can see here, 4 games played. Oh, sorry, not 4 games. Sorry, they're in 4th, 9 games played. Only 2 defeats. So they could be a pretty tricky team for us to beat the Vanarama National South club there. But yeah, we're playing them in 3 days. It's actually going to be a Saturday game. My game is running really, really slowly, which is not ideal. But yeah, you can see here, all in all, I think things are going pretty well. Matty Hamilton, apparently good potential, could become slightly better than Ote. Seems a little bit pointless to tell me that my 21-year-old striker could become slightly better than my 19-year-old striker. But I guess beggars can't be choosers in that regard. Let's get continuing forward. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, guys, because this is going to take a few minutes. I'm going to skip straight forward to the Maidenhead game. I need to restart my PC. I am guilty of not restarting it in a while. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll see how Chesham get on, just because they're playing a day later for us, of course, one of our promotional rivals, hoping that Chesham slip up. And yeah, once we see that result, we'll skip forward to the Maidenhead game. We'll get to it. This episode's already 25 minutes long. I don't want it to be too much longer. And Chesham have lost. Fantastic. Right, hopefully we can get some more good news in just a second, as we will be taking on Maidenhead. Okay, guys, so we go into the game against Maidenhead today in the FA Cup, knowing that a win here would take us into the 4th qualifying round, which is one round away from kind of the FA Cup proper, at which point League 1 and League 2 sides come in. It has actually just dawned on me now, I probably should have sorted this out more, because of course in this competition, we can actually have like a decent number of players on the bench, so we can actually have some coverage in the majority of positions, which is nice, a bit of a rarity. We will put a goalkeeper on the bench in Dean Snedker for today's game. In terms of the actual squad, no vast change really. I am going to play Ote in the side, starting ahead of Matty Hamilton, who gets demoted to the bench. David Lynch, who of course has been out for a large part of the early kind of stage of this season, out for 4 weeks, is back now after a groin strain. He is on the bench as well for us, although only fit to play about half a game, so that's a little bit of a shame. Elsewhere, we've got Anthony Scully, who's an option who can play kind of out wide on the right or in a more attacking position out on the left. We've got Duffman on the bench, and in his place, I have brought in Jay Harris into the side. Of course, two very similar centre mids, Harris and Duffman. A bit of interaction and a bit of interchanging that we can do there with those two players. But yeah, elsewhere with the team, nothing changing too drastically here. As you can see, condition for the majority of players is very, very good. Of course, just that rest leading up into this game is going to be beneficial for that. So yeah, Maidenhead, a decent side in the Vanarama South, going very, very strong. And it's not going to be an easy game for us here. Our expectation is, I believe, to reach the first round. So we really need to be winning this and the preceding round. But this is going to be tricky. You know, a team in a division above us, a bit of a test, I guess, to see just how good we are. Of course, we've been doing very, very well in the Southern Premier League. And if we can get a good result here against a team in a higher division, granted a team who are in a division which our squad is very much tailored towards, and I think is of at least the quality of the Vanarama North and South side, we have now, you know, got a little bit of a test, I guess, just to see how do we fare against kind of higher quality opposition. And, well, we are playing away from home, so it's not going to be easy. We are in red. And, well, we are already 1 goal behind, and it's through James Comley from a set piece, actually, that they've scored here, Maidenhead. Their defender getting on the end of what was a half-hearted kind of clearance from the initial corner. We didn't deal with it, and in the end, the ball slotted away. The ball whipped in by Phobes. Back post headed back across by Macy. No one gets there. No one gets a block in. It goes for a crowd of players. Driscoll and Gold perhaps should do a little bit better. The players on the line on either post not able to do a whole lot there. It was fairly central, but just came through such a big body of players. It was just difficult for the keeper to pick out the strike. And while the ball to the back post, we head it clear. Forbes now, though, with the ball at the edge of the area to Clark Marks. Cox. It's another fantastically worked goal for Maidenhead. Jordan Cox with the goal. And, well, at 2 goals down now, we are going to have to show some terrific character to fight back. You know, this is a game that the board expects us to win in order to get to a higher division. Not a higher division, but in order to reach our expectations. In truth, I look at this kind of game as a very winnable match against Maidenhead. And, well, we've had a bit of a reality check early on here. We have not come to the races thus far. And you can see just the one kind of measly shot on target we've had. And, well, they're on the attack again here. Cox beats his man, all ends up. Long-range effort, very ambitious, goes high and wide. And, well, 22 minutes gone. It's safe to say that we've really just not been at the races so far. I'm going to tell the players to show some passion. We have looked appalling, in all honesty, in the first kind of 25 minutes. We look like a team who's scared to be playing a team in the division above us. And we have the quality to go toe-to-toe with them, I feel. And, well, simply put, in this half so far, it's just not been the case that we've done that. We have got a set piece here, though. Dan Townsend whips it in right there. It's a penalty. Joe Muscat with the foul. And, well, from out of nothing, we find ourselves with a little bit of a lifeline. Of course, in that previous match we missed a penalty. It's now on Dan Townsend. Number 6, the centre mid player. He's not had the greatest season thus far. Can he have a highlight for the season here? Penalty, steps up, slots it away. The keeper goes the right way, but he wasn't getting anywhere near it. And with his first goal of the season, Dan Townsend throws us a lifeline. We have not been that great so far in this game, but it's a lovely finish by Townsend. Slots it away. The keeper goes the right way. Unfortunately, no chance of getting across. And, well, shooting towards the away fans. They have seen a goal now. And at 2-1 at half-time, there is food for thought, certainly. And as this game has progressed in this second half, we have got back into it, certainly. I'm going to tell the players they've been unlucky so far. A fantastic response. I don't think we need to add much more than that. Ote's not had the greatest game. Harris hasn't had a great game. Neither has Wright. To be honest, you look across the entire team, it's been a pretty poor showing by everyone. Hopefully we can now just step it up in this second half and fight back even further, of course. 45 minutes left and a draw, if it was all square, would see us go to kind of a replay, which would probably have to come next episode and would throw a massive spanner in the works. in terms of my plans for the episodes kind of going forward. You can see here, equal number of shots, equal number of clear-cut chances, possession slightly in Maidenhead's favour. I kind of want to make a very bold and perhaps risky change, and that risky change is I'm tempted to switch to the formation that I used in the Spurs and Chelsea saves earlier on, the 4-2-3-1, and see if it works for us. We have the players to play this system, and I feel like it's perhaps worth a roll of the dice. Maybe. Is it? That's what I'm now thinking. Is it worth it? I don't think it is. You know, I feel like it'd be making a change for the sake of it. I'm going to take off Stevenson because I don't think he's had a great game. We're going to bring in David Lynch for him. Part of me wants to play the 4-2-3-1 just to experiment, but at the same time, we have really grown into this game as it's progressed. In this half, Maidenhead yet to have a shot on target. I feel like we have them against the ropes. And actually, this system is the system to stick with. At the moment, it's doing a job for us. Yes, we're a goal down, but we are very much fighting. And, well, the ball here now in the possession of Maidenhead. They're bringing it forward, perhaps Vaughan with the ball. We're closing down well. Harris intercepts. Only as far as Clark, though. And now Maidenhead with possession. Lays it back to Boyd, actually, the goalkeeper. Bringing the ball quite a long way forward. It's an ambitious ball into Marks, but does find his man. Maidenhead working it around nicely, but, well, Blackshaw's there to read it. Heads it only as far as Clark, though. Now another onslaught, perhaps going to be endured by us here as now Preston heads the ball clear, but still with Maidenhead we're kind of getting these half clearances, but the ball's not being dealt with. The ball in, Cox is there. Maybe I should have changed system. I feel like hindsight's a wonderful thing now. Looking at the system, it's not actually quite the 4-2-3-1 which we used at Spurs. It's one that I was kind of experimenting with just in my own time, but we're going to go with it now. We have to chase this game. We need goals. And, yeah, well, we need them now. So let's go for it. Let's see what we can do. We're going to just mix things up and just make it a little bit more favoured, perhaps, for the players that we've got. Looking out wide, Jay Harris hasn't had the greatest game in defensive mid. But I don't know. I might take off Bennett and bring in Scully. I feel like that's a logical change to do there. So that's the change that we will make, actually. In fact, I've changed my mind. I'm so indecisive today. I'm going to bring in Scully, and I'm actually going to play him as the inside forward and Bennett as the winger. Because Scully is actually right-footed, so it kind of makes sense for him to cut in. That does mean that I do want to switch our centre mids round. But no, we're going to chase this game now. We've got to be more direct. We've got to be more attacking. We've got to play a higher line. Let's see what we can do. You know, it's a roll of the dice. 20 minutes left. We've used all our subs. We've brought on lots of fresh legs in the final third. Let's see if our players can kind of step up to the occasion now and pull something out of the hat. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tricky. 2 goals down. We're chasing this game using a very unproven system. And unfortunately, if I have to be honest, it might just be a step too far for us here. Let's just pause and do one last team talk. Show some passion again. 10 minutes left, boys. Show us some gusto out there. Show us some guts. Or, I mean, you can just do nothing as I now watch the time tick away in the top left. You look at the stats as a whole. It's been a close game, but stats don't mean anything. The only stat that matters is the number of goals, and in truth, Maidenhead have humbled us here. 3-1, it's going to finish. You'd say that when you concede 2 goals in the space of the opening kind of 12 or 13 minutes, you always are going to be in for a tricky time. Unfortunately, that was the case. Taking on a team in a higher division, they were the favourites for the game, so it's not entirely surprising. But, I don't know, I feel like we could have gone a lot kind of closer to them and given them a lot better a run for the money than we actually did. We'll have to see how the board react to that. I assume that they're not going to be too fussed because they're going to understand that ultimately we were playing a team in a higher division. But I don't know, that was just a little bit disappointing. There wasn't a lot of us in terms of a sign of life. You know, we relied on a penalty to get even close in the game. And if we just look at the board confidence here for the competition, you're going to see it's kind of dropped down a little bit, but they do understand why we were knocked out to Maidenhead, which is a shame. You know, I want to get to the first round of the FA Cup in the not too distant future. I feel like it was a pretty harsh straw to get Maidenhead, particularly after the emphatic win against Gloucester. You know, I thought that was going to, I don't know, give us some luck. Perhaps we'd get a slightly kinder draw, but it simply wasn't to be. It does mean at least now we can focus on the league a little bit more. As I said, next time out we are going to have a double kind of header live com, I think, against Chesham and the Dunstable, although they're both slipping down the table and it's not that far away. I still feel like that could be a pretty good double live com. I may even go to the Basingstoke game and just kind of fly through a few more fixtures, as this episode was only shortly after, obviously, the episode that preceded it. Let me know what you'd like to see down in the comments with regards to episodes. As I said, and I've said before, I am interested in your feedback. I do take it on board. I do feel like the Cheshire and Dunstable games could be important. We'll see how the league lies after the remainder 2 games. I'll leave it as a bit of a surprise, I guess, for when you come back next time as to exactly what you'll be in for in terms of kind of live content. But yeah, guys, that is all from me. Let me know what you made of, well, the abrupt end to our FA Cup run and, of course, the win against Chippenham down in the comments. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. As always, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.